If you've played any version of Tomba, you've probably seen the two stone tablets, one near the dwarf village entrance and another in the haunted mansion. Many of us probably wondered what their deal really was. Is there some event I missed? Do I need to use some item in front of them? What do they do? While we don't have a definitive answer to everything, we have done a lot of research on all versions of the game, and at the very least, we have some educated guesses based on the unused data. To begin, we need to go back to mid to late 1997. PlayStation Club was a Japanese subscription service where you'd pay a monthly fee to get all kinds of cool PlayStation-related goodies, including the so-called demo discs. In Volume 9 of this demo disc series, a demo of Tomba was included. There's some ambiguity about its real release date, but the game's executable has a build date of 20th of October 1997, which puts it around here in the build timeline. The demo is very interesting and unique in many ways, most notably for having an extended debug mode, found by Solid Snake 11, but also for being the only version of the game where you can actually interact with the slab. Just before the dwarf village entrance, you can look up to the slab and hit square, resulting in a close-up of the slab model and a bubble with a question mark in it appearing on top of Tomba. No event is initiated, and you can't really do anything besides look at it. In all subsequent releases, the slabs just hang on the wall and you can't do anything with them. What's interesting is that the slabs are legitimate objects, not part of the level geometry. The developers could have surely removed them in the much more polished US and European versions, but instead chose to leave them in. It's no secret that there's a lot of unfinished data in the game, ranging from unused text, models and sprites to areas and even events, leading us to believe the game was rushed to release. Unsurprisingly, under a tight deadline some things need to be cut, and there indeed is a lot of slab-related content hidden in the game's data. One of the more interesting ones are these two dialogue entries meant to be used somewhere in the clock tower. Is it true that you're traveling to all sorts of places? Have you ever seen a rock with all kinds of squiggly lines and dots on it? I saw a rock like that a long time ago at the Lumberjack's factory. It's been on my mind ever since. And I've heard that there are a total of 6 Doodle Rocks. If you solve the puzzle on the rocks, you'll be rewarded with lots of treasure. It seems pretty hard to solve. One is by 5 to the 20th power or something. I don't know. Additionally, there's an unused event description that says, "Decipher the code on the Doodle Rocks." And sure enough, if you go to the Lumberjack's factory in the game indeed does load a never-before-seen slab texture into VRAM. There's no model associated with it, but the unique graphic is there. The slab we saw in the haunted mansion has a single line in it, and the one near the dwarf village entrance has 2 dots. This one has 2 dots, then 4 dots below it, and finally 3 lines. But what do these dots and lines even mean? As it turns out, the symbols in the so-called Doodle Rocks are actually Mayan numerals. We went through the VRAMs of all the areas and found a total of 5 Doodle Rocks, located in the Haunted Mansion, Dwarf Village Entrance, Lumberjack Factory, Phoenix Mountain and the Trick Village. The numbers the slabs represent are as follows. Dwarf Village is 2, Haunted Mansion is 5, Lumberjack Factory is 59, Phoenix Mountain 37, and Trick Village 139. We can't say for sure what the puzzle was and what was the reward and the lots of treasure the miner talks about, but we do have at least one lead. It seems that originally there were going to be a total of 6 slabs, and they were going to play a role in some puzzle that would have rewarded you with the treasure. An underground treasure, if you will. The underground maze is the last area in the game, and while you don't spend much time at all in there in the first place, even the casual player can notice that something feels a bit off. There's an event called Underground Treasure that's initiated by talking to a digger and cleared almost immediately after by simply opening the door that leads to a million-year-old chest containing 300,000 AP. It's likely that this underwhelming event was originally something bigger and possibly related to the Doodle Rocks. Why? Well, you can find these unused textures in the underground maze's VRAM. Sure enough, the Mayan numerals are there, but also some symbols not seen anywhere else. Perhaps originally this was the place where you had to solve the fabled Doodle Rock puzzle and be rewarded with lots of treasure. But because of tight time constraints, the developers opted for a much lamer event. There's also these unused or otherwise questionable graphics found across the different versions of the game. Might they be related to the Doodle Rocks? We can't say. At least the icon for the underground treasure in the final retail game raises some questions. It seems to depict a grey gate opening to reveal a large gold stash. The final retail game also has this unused events icon that shows just the treasure without any gates. Could this be related to the Doodle Rocks? Or perhaps the unused event that's description simply says, "Find the thief's treasures." No way to tell for sure. Then there's an unused events icon in an earlier Japanese demo that looks like some kind of a stone floor. So maybe that's got something to do with all this too. Lastly, there's these item icons, also found in the same early demo, that look like 5 pieces of something grey. Stone maybe? We just can't tell. That's all we've really gathered. All in all, the slabs appear to be a part of a puzzle, maybe related to math, that would have given you some great treasure. That's all for today, but don't forget to like and subscribe, follow us on Twitter and join our Discord, link is in the description. What do you think the whole slab thing is about? Let us know in the comments.